Shalat, your plan was to sleep in the van that we used to drive. How did that go?
I was super confident in my idea at the beginning of the night. I had the car running beforehand, you know, all through the storm. The heat was on. Everything was nice. I walked in. I was toasty. I got maybe like 30 minutes of sleep, and I woke up completely shivering.
Really?
Because it turns out the heat didn't stay.
No.
And so I opened the door. I was like, I couldn't do this. I didn't have a blanket. It was just me in my fucking hoodie. And I try and, knock on the tents to see if anyone would let me in. Nothing.
What, we were asleep by that point?
Why didn't you just force yourself into their tent?
Well, I didn't want to be rude. And so in the dark, my phone was dead.
Oh.
I had to figure out where the barbed wire was. I had to figure out where there weren't any fucking things that would kill me. And I slipped through, and I made my way back up to the house. And
you slept up there.
Yeah, the door was open. They had the fire going, so it was nice. It was nice. It was toasty. I warmed up real quick. Chad and Blue were on the couch. They're the snorers, by the way.
Yeah, they snore.
Travis snores as well. He snores a little bit.
Yeah, Travis was snoring in the tent. That wasn't that bad.
I would reach my hand.
Heard?
Yeah.
You heard his snores.
You guys, it's a problem in the house, the goop house?
No, it's not a problem in the house. It's just a problem in general.
Oh.
Carson gets very upset. Everyone else doesn't really give that much.
Yeah,
Actually, no. Noah's got it.
Because
Noah
he was
has a very specific description of Travis's snores.
What is it? He doesn't even know himself.
From PAX East. Or PAX West.
Oh! No, I have no idea what you're talking about. I just remember that. What I do remember is it sounded like a generator was running in the room.
The blunderbuss?
Yes, the blunderbuss. That's what I called it.
He was right next to me, so he was sleeping literally right next to me through like a thin plastic sheet.
Yeah.
And so I'm just hearing it right in my ear, and I'm like, okay, hopefully this will stop in the next 10 minutes.
He was right next to me. It wasn't even that loud. What do you mean?
Dude, it was pretty annoying, but that's not your fault. But I remember I would just roll off and I'd tap him, and then I'd go back like that in hopes that I would stir him awake, and then he would stop snoring, and then it would take him the average 7 minutes to fall back asleep, so that I would race him to REM cycle number 1.
That's actually so funny.
So I got
such an intensely relatable.
I remember. I remember like feeling you hit me in the leg at night. I was like, what was that? And then I go back to bed.
I had no idea this was happening. That's so funny.
Well, like when I had a roommate in college, he snored like a motherfucker. So what I would do is I would just go, just in the middle of the night, just go like that, and then just like pretend like I'm sleeping, because he would like stir awake, and then he'd be like, "Oh, it was just a dream." Go back to sleep. It's like a Skyrim NPC.
I was like laying
What was that?
What was that?
I was like laying
I guess it was
there,
nothing.
and then I would just feel it on my leg. I was like, oh, okay. And like I'd go back to sleep. I was like, what was that?
The second time, surely you were like, okay, he definitely hit me there.
Yeah, like the first time I was like, was that him? Nah. And then I fell back into bed.
Oh, you weren't giving me enough time. I kept losing the race.
Travis, that reminds me of you and me in the van on the way back today.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. He was falling asleep in the van on the way back today, like after we were all done camping. And he was just sitting there. And in school where you like fall asleep on your hand.
Yeah.
And like you'd slowly fall, and then like it would like fall out of your hand. You like almost hit your head on the desk or something.
Yeah.
And you'd catch yourself. He was doing that a lot. He was just sitting there in the back seat, just like falling asleep. And like
I was watching in the rear view the entire time.
Like I offered him something like to help his to make so he didn't do that. He's like, nah, I don't need it. And then like he'd fall back asleep again, like do it 2 or 3 more times. Like I'd wake him up again. Like, are you sure you don't want this? He's like, no, I don't. And then he fell back asleep, like do it 3-4 more times. And I offered him one more time. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, no, please stop asking. And then I was like, okay. And then you just fall back asleep and like keep doing it. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore you then.
My head would just plummet, and then it'd get to a certain point, and it'd go, whoa.
I thought you were trolling me. I was looking in the rear view like, what is he doing?
I was falling asleep.
I know.
Actually, no, I was
on
asleep. Yeah, I may have drooled a little bit.
I looked over and there was just like a string just right above my hand, like the sword of Damocles.
I'm
And I was
sorry,
just-
but I love that sword. No, I actually know what you're talking. Do you guys know what the sword of Damocles is?
I don't.
I had to put
Okay,
it back
so
in
this-
because I knew he'd explain it.
I see.
So the sword of Damocles is a sword that was hanging above this dude's head by a thread.
Mm-hmm. That's it?
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
Where's it from? Like a fairy tale or something? Or
I have no
history?
idea.
I don't know.
Is it Greek
It's just a
mythology?
thing that people say.
It's
It
just
sounds like
yeah.
Greek mythology.
And now you
Yeah.
know. You're
Now we
welcome.
know.
This is
The
an
sword of Damocles.
educational
This
podcast.
has been very educational.
I'm just gonna bring that to every podcast that we're involved with.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
I
sword
think
of
we've talked about
Damocles.
this on the Goopcast.
Probably like 3 times. by
The sword
this
of
point.
Damocles?
Yeah.
I'm going to pass that on, though, to
Yeah.
every guest. We'll find a way to insert
please
it into the show.
Like the sword of Damocles. Oh,
Hold
what's
a
the sword of
weapon over there.
Damocles? Well, let me tell you.
Just use it as a really ineffective segue the whole time. Just like try and squeeze it in.